this man talked about killing a human being, a baby and a child, and I said that's wrong, and that makes me.
You don't like that?
That makes me a bad person.
If your leg had cancer, would you chop it off?
You don't compare.
If you want to equate a baby to cancer,
you don't compare.
Don't compare. Sure, let's just
answer the question.
Yes,
I would cut off the cancer.
Yes, you would cut off
because it's a death-like thing in my body, and it's not a human life.
At the age where biblical Christianity was a thing, more than 60% to 70% of pregnancies led in death to the mother and the child.
That's not true.
Okay, let's just give something to you. Let's just say you're right.
That's bullshit.
Are you trying to tell me that nobody in those days should start getting pregnant?
Those days, I'm saying that there was a high death rate because of antibacterials and things of those sorts that hospitals have today, right? Hospitals that today have 100% birth rate with 0% mortality rate.
Which means that we shouldn't have abortions then, because listen to me. In those days, you had bacteria, but they didn't have scans to even know. They didn't have the medication we did, and yet nobody was supporting abortion. But nowadays, you're saying it's 100% birth rate, and we have vaccines, we have medicine. That means nobody should be doing abortion because we have a success rate, and nobody needs to die. So what would be the need for abortion?
So if your body, you're still connected to that baby. If you get to choose whether you want to break that leg, if you want to cut off that leg, you should be able to choose what you do. You should be able to choose what you do to what is attached to your body, right? An elephant has 7 hearts. A giraffe has 5. 2 hearts doesn't mean that it's apart from you. An elephant can have 5 hearts. If it wanted to kill one of them hearts, it's okay, right? It's still a part of its body.
Are you telling me that I'm my mother?
This fun.
Genetics? Yes.
I'm my mother. We share the same heart, me and my mom?
This fun.
You did at one point.
Right? We did. We share the same brain, me and my mom?
Genetically, yes. At one point or another, you gained those genetics from your mother and your father.
So it's not just my mom. So my heart actually belongs to my dad too.
Before tomorrow, may I ask this guy a question?
Give me.
Genetics come from your father's sperm, your mother's ovary.
The chromosomes and the DNA, right? But my heart, the heart inside of that womb is a separate human being. It's a child. It's different from my mother, and it's different from my father. It might even have a different, I might even have a different blood type. So it's not the same. It doesn't share the same heart. It doesn't share the same heart or even the same blood type.
Is it connected to your body?
My wife, or if she had a child, right?
Saying you were going to have an abortion. Let's talk about your wife now.
Yeah, you know what? You want to know something about my life? I had an abortion when I was 15.
Wow.
I told my girlfriend to have an abortion.
Wow.
And you know what that made me? That made me a murderer. That made me a murderer.
Yes.
That made me a murderer. And it made her a murderer. And you know what? It left a scar on her life till this day, and it left a scar in my life. Every person that's ever done an abortion remembers it for the rest of their life, mentally and emotionally. And I wish to God that I didn't kill my own child.
Because you were stable to carry
No,
it, right?
because I was stupid, immoral, and wicked, and I was a murderer. And anybody that kills a child is a murderer too.
Yes.
When you go through that, if you were to go through that, if you did not have that abortion, and you were not capable
You know what? I was a
15-year-old
15-year-old child, and I was scared out of my life. I was like, my life is gonna be ruined if I have this child. These were all lies from the devil. You know why? I thought my mom was gonna kill me. I thought her parents were gonna kill me. Like, I can't have. We were 15 years old, and I didn't know what to do. But you know what? When I look back now, and I'm almost 40 years old, and I talked to my mom about it when I became a born-again Christian, my mother would have taken care of the child. We had a support system. Her parents would have taken care of the child. And in fact, the girl that committed the abortion, she regrets it bitterly. Bitterly. And I too, looking back, that would have been my son. He would have been about 23 years old today. 24 years old, my son. I took someone's potential away. I crushed a human skull. It was about 5 months, almost 6 months she had that abortion. It had a beating heart, a working brain, eyes, and I allowed and I pushed my girlfriend to get an abortion because of my own selfishness, my own fears, my own bondage inside of myself, my own sin, and that mechanism crushed its brain, and it probably screamed, and it bled to death, and it was probably still alive, screaming on the bed, and his organs were torn apart and probably sold to somebody else. And I did that because I was wicked, and anybody that does that is wicked, and you're a murderer, and you need to repent of your sins. Crushing a human skull is wicked. It's a genocide what's happening today. It's wicked. Cut it out. A baby is not a woman's body. I'm sorry. It has a different blood type. It is different from you. It's fearfully and wonderfully made, and you have no right to take a baby.